All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Alexander Howell, and if you clicked on the thumbnail for this video, you probably have been in a situation where you have traveled to a foreign country and you thought, I'm going to get on my HBO Max or Netflix or something like that. You get on your phone or you get on your computer, or you get on your tablet, you want to pull up your favorite show, and you realize that because you are in a foreign country, and whether you're picking up the cellular service or you're picking up the internet service at your hotel or wherever it might be, you're not able to get the same shows that you were when you were in the United States. Well, there's a reason for that. We're going to talk about that for just a second, but I'm going to tell you a bit how to get around that, some of the other positive features for that, and just what that is. So if you've ever experienced that, if you want to know how to get around it, stick around. Let's roll the intro. Okay, so basically the reason for this is that, as you can probably expect, going into different nations, they're not allowed to access the same things that we can anywhere else. That's a terrible explanation, but that's basically what it is. Once you travel into a different country, you're not allowed to access some, not all, but some of the things that you used to be. So, for instance, the last time that I went to Mexico, I tried to open up HBO Max because one of my favorite shows is Game of Thrones, and they basically said, ha 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 ha, no. So what do? Do you just give up? Do you watch whatever's there? You can do that, that's fine, but sometimes you're in foreign countries where the language isn't yours and you don't know the language. When we went to Italy and everything was in Italian, I didn't know Italian. I know a lot of Spanish, not all of it, but I'm learning. But when we go to Mexico and I watch shows down there, I can't pick everything up either. So what's a person like me to do? What's somebody like you to do who wants to travel internationally but still wants to be able to watch the shows that they want to watch? Well, the answer is simple, and for those of you who have one, you've probably already guessed what it is, and that is a virtual private network, commonly called, just by the letters at the start, a VPN. Now, a virtual private network does a lot of different things, so I'm not just going to say this is for media purposes or anything like that. It is a lot of security built in. It is basically you choosing a server, choosing an IP address that is not where you currently are in the world, but they find one in a different place, and that is now where all of your data is going through. So basically, your data goes from where you are through that, and then that is the only IP address that the world sees that is trying to access your information. So you probably can guess this is a huge security positive. If you have this on your phone, on your computer, on your tablet, whatever it might be, it's going to allow you to surf the internet and feel not completely protected, because obviously hackers are very intelligent, but more protected than the average person that doesn't have one of these services. Now, I can tell you that I have one. We're going to talk about that towards the end here, but I have started to use this. The only thing that I have ever noticed is that if I pick a server that's just a little bit too far away, I will notice some lag time in me trying to upload or download files. And that's really the only negative. So if I, in the United States, want to say that I'm in Albania, there's going to be some lag time downloading files. But if I, in the United States, and let's say I'm from, I don't know, Kansas City, if I say that if I'm in Denver, then that IP address registers from Denver, I don't see much of a lag time. Maybe a little bit, but not too much. One other negative, just to get it out of the way real quick, is you will be spotted a bit more for looking like a bot than you will if you just have everything completely open on your phone. To me, that has always been worth it because it's really easy to get past that stuff and get to all the files that you want. So again, like I said, there are a ton of security features that you can go over and talk about the reasons for having a VPN. If you're working on something like banking from a different location, if you're working on something like your taxes, all of those things where you're sending and getting a lot of personal information that you don't want the bad guys to get, having a VPN on your phone is a fantastic way to really just give another layer of security. And I always say it like it's like a fence. A fence isn't going to stop somebody. A lock isn't going to stop somebody, but it's going to deter them enough to where you're going to be too much work, and somebody else that doesn't have a fence or a lock or a VPN is going to be very easy to access that information that they want. So I hope that makes sense, but I'm not trying to downplay the security features. What I'm trying to do is just show that for specific travelers like myself that consume a ton of media, if you're out of the country and you want to access that information, here's how you do it. Oh, and by the way, we're gonna switch from this screen to this view. All right, so here we are. I'm actually showing you my screen when I log into NordVPN, which is the service that I use. Now, if you want to check it out, I do have a link in the description below. It is an affiliate link, but there's no extra cost or anything like that. I put it in there because that's the one that I know and trust. No payment for this video, just really easy to be able to say, here's what it is. So best example to look at is, so when I was in Mexico, and we stay pretty much right in here, which is where Merida is. If I was in Mexico or I was in Costa Rica, tell me that's Costa Rica. Yes. But if I'm there and I just want to access everything safely, but I can utilize a service or a server, an IP address that's in that country, I'm just going to click that country. There's no issue with that whatsoever. Makes it easy, and you're still protected because there's that layer of security. But if you're utilizing it to access your media, you're going to want to look at something else. And that is, if you are staying in Mexico and you want to act like you're in the United States to access PBS, HBO Max, Paramount, Netflix, all those different services, you want to get the shows that you're used to, all you have to do is literally click right here. It says connecting to United States, has a number right there, and you can see it right there. Yep. Oh, my screen just went off right there. But it does take, sometimes it does take a bit to connect. I was just playing with that. You can see that I had like Iceland in a different country. Sometimes, depending on the device, depending on the internet speeds, it does take a bit to connect. But as you just saw, we are now protected, and we are through a server in the United States, and they've got 8308, whatever that might be. But you can see over here too, dedicated IP, double VPN, onion over VPN, P2P, those are all different types of security features. But for the most part, what we want to talk about again is the multimedia services. So if you click on all countries, these are all the countries in which NordVPN has servers. And actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to back out on this map a little bit, and you can see in that map all the different countries that they have servers in: Canada, Iceland, Norway, Sweden, Hungary, India, Malaysia, Indonesia, South Africa, Australia. They have all kinds of servers, all kinds of IP addresses that you can access all over the world. So whether you're in, if you're in the United States and you want to see what's going on in media in South Africa, you can do that. Same thing in Brazil. So if you're in Mexico and you want to have a nice security layer, you can obviously just hit Mexico. It'll automatically quick connect to that location. Or if you're in the United States and you want to see what's on in Portugal media, you just hit Portugal media. And again, the further away you are, I've noticed the longer it takes for these connections to happen, and it has more to do with just the signal getting from one place back to you. But if you're just patient, especially if it's something like on your phone, you can just click, put it down for a second, it's fine. And see, we're already connected to Portugal. So another thing you need to think about too is this is geolocating you. This is telling the internet where you are quote unquote located, or where it thinks that you're located. So don't be freaked out if you pull up Google and everything is ready for Portugal as it would be in this situation. That's going to happen, but it's one of the benefits of if you're traveling internationally and you go back to the US, you have the Google that you're used to, or again, you just hit the one that's in the same country that you're in. It's probably going to be a much closer connection, a much quicker connection, and you're at least connected and protected against people who might have ill intentions on your personal information. So that's really it. Now, NordVPN is not going to be something where if you bring a Roku device out of the country, unless one of you guys, by the way, wants to tell me that I'm wrong about Roku, but I've never had a Roku out of the country that I've really been able to use if it was in the US. I just have to utilize the services that they have there. But if I have a computer like mine, where it has an HDMI connection in the back, I can just look up whatever I'm trying to watch there, connect it to a big TV screen, and I'm good to go. So you can still utilize different mediums, but for the most part, this is going to work on your computers, your tablets, and things like your phone. And it's very, very simple to install. You just install the app, whatever you choose. Like I said, NordVPN is the one that I use, and I do have a link down in the description below if you'd like to try it or check it out. But those are the ones that I use, and it's worked really well. And it's a really simple, just open up the app, click where you want to be, and boom, you are there. And it has been an absolute lifesaver when my kids have wanted to watch something that just wasn't available in a country, or that country didn't have the language specifications that we needed for them to understand everything. So a little bit complicated, not too complicated, but again, it's just one of those features that if you travel out of the country, it can be absolutely huge, of course, for your security, but also for your multimedia needs if you're a family like mine. Okay, so let's since we've seen this little easy screen, let's go back to the main screen. Here we go. All right, everyone, so that was it. Now, this video was a little bit different than some of the other ones where it's a little bit more all-inclusive in how we handle things. So this is just one of those questions, though, that I have been asked so many times about how are we able to view these things in a different country, and it's honestly ridiculously easy once you get a hold of it. And again, once you utilize a VPN, you'll never go back. It makes you feel much more secure. It can be a little wonky to kind of figure out the small negatives. Like I said, if you put it like you're in Mexico, Google's going to come up like you're in Mexico, but those are really easy to get around, and all of the benefits outweigh the negatives. And again, for me, we consume a lot of media. I'm on YouTube with this channel, of course, but I'm also trying to like research, you know, who's doing what and how they're doing. And I have a huge mind for documentaries and history. So things like Netflix and YouTube and Disney are always big for me. So if you like this video, please feel free to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell. That'll let you know anytime that one of these videos goes live. If you'd like to, please follow me on social media at Alexander from KC. As most of you know, my main jam is Instagram. So at Alexander from KC, like Kansas City. And that's it. Also, I have the ability for you guys to send me a direct text message at 816-727-7740. Lots of text messages and emails have kind of come through, so I've been a little bit slower about getting back, but I promised you I will absolutely get back. And if you guys have any other videos that you want to see, if you have an idea for something, again, comment down below and like and subscribe to the channel. And if you hit that notification bell, that's going to let you know anytime that not only one of these videos goes live, but one of my live streams happens as well. And those have been really awesome to just directly connect with people. If you have a question about anything that I'm talking about during the live stream, or even something that I'm not talking about, ask it in the live chat or send me an email. We'll go through it on there. And also, thank you so much to the Patreons and the members of this YouTube channel. I obviously very much appreciate that. And just to cover that, patreon.com/Alexander Howell, or if you go to the main part of this channel, just hit the join button. You can become a traveler or a voyager. And I obviously very, very much appreciate that. So again, thank you so much for watching this video. Please feel free to click the link below for NordVPN. Try it out. If you don't like it, let me know. Again, comment. It's easy to go. Or if you have one that you like even better, comment. I always appreciate that. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for being a part of this and watching this video and subscribing. Have a wonderful day. But as always, peace.